Hello, this is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan, Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio. This is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan. We got some good stuff today. I have to do a double. I was gonna do it, but tomorrow I'll give you the second half because it's kind of getting late. So, a lot of these are like moot points now, but I'm actually going to give you my top 10 NFL players today, and you're probably going to get mad at me for my list, but I'm taking a risk here. I don't care. Alright. Okay, so Trae Young dropped 48 in Game 1 yesterday, and you know what's crazy about this? They were sub 500 at the All-Star break. Now, we got to give credit to the Hawks here. I mean, they're just, no one thought they could be this good. You know, in the playoffs right now, they are 9-4, and that gives them a combined record of 39 and 16 since Nate McMillan took over. Now, this is a deep team. Like I said, 6 players average more than 10 against the Sixers. So give them credit here. Now, anybody who is a fan of the East is going to hate me for this, but I just think the West is so much better. Like, CP3 was out, Kawhi was out, but the games were still watchable. Like, they were still good. Last night, if you took Giannis and Trae Young out, there's not much of a game there. It wouldn't be a very good game. And, since LeBron left, the East hasn't been that impressive. Kawhi went in, got a ring, and got out, Last year, a young Heat team, a 5-seeded Heat team, made it to the finals. Now, I give Trae Young credit. I think he's a great player. I think he's the best point guard in the East, honestly. I don't think that's crazy to say. And, but here's the thing. Who are the 2 best point guards in the West? The 2 best. Lillard and Steph. Those are the 2 best point guards in the league, probably, and they're the 2 best point guards in the West. They didn't even make the playoffs. So Trae Young, and I love him, he's not making the playoffs with this team. He's not making the playoffs with this team. I just think, I had the Lakers winning it all from the beginning, so I'm already, not a very credible source for this, but I just think whoever comes out of the Suns-Clippers series is the winner, because I don't know. The Bucks might be able to sneak, might be able to go all the way, I can see that, but if the Hawks win it, I just don't see, them winning against either teams. Alright. So, Steve Kerr said that KD is more gifted than Michael Jordan. Now, I agree, but here's the thing. Because I think a lot of people hate this. It got a lot of pushback. Being gifted does not mean he's the GOAT. KD is not the GOAT. He's top 12 already, I think. I think he's the 12th best player ever. I'm not giving you my list because it's going to ruffle a lot of people's feathers. But think about this. I'm going to give you another hint. Kobe was more gifted than Magic. I don't think Kobe's better than Magic. I think Magic's the better player. The difference is KD is more passive-aggressive and kind of moves away when there's a problem. Like Westbrook, he had a problem. I don't know if he had a problem with him or not, but there was a problem there. If they weren't winning, he didn't confront it. He left. Draymond, he had a bit of a spat with him. He left that. And he even said himself, that had something to do with him leaving. Orlando Woolridge was a good player for the Bulls. But Jordan would go at him in practice. He would confront the that problem. And, he eventually, obviously, Jordan became the best player, and Woolridge became, kind of more of a role player. And here's the difference between MJ and KD. MJ, and I'm going to tell you the story here, he would do batting practice for 2.5 hours in the South. And that's an oven in the summer. The South is an oven in the summer. Like, I've gone on vacation in, Florida and, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, It gets hot in the summer. But he's so dedicated. And, KD, I'm not saying he doesn't, work hard, he's lazy, but he is not, relentless like MJ is, And I think if he were as relentless as MJ is, he'd be arguably the best player ever. And if you're as dedicated. But the thing is, KD was just given more gifts. He's a more gifted athlete, so he doesn't have to be as dedicated as Michael. Because he's 6'11", who can shoot the three and handle the ball. It's not normal. So, I just if he were as dedicated as Michael was, he could be the best player ever. I don't think that sounds too crazy. Alright, let's get some music on here. Alright, so, this is a moot point. So, yesterday, CP3 was probable, Kawhi was out. Maybe I'll replace this by talking about the Suns and Clippers game 2. You gotta give the Clippers credit here. PG played like a star, role players stepped up. And Ty Lue is making good adjustments. Give them credit here. So, yeah, Paul George, 27, 15, and 8. That's, I don't know. But yeah, role players, Reggie Jackson had 23 points. Terrence Mann, 12 points. Zubac, 5 points, 15 points, and 16 boards. Role players stepped up, and that's what I was saying. Role players have to step up for it to be a championship team. It can't just be a one-man show. And think about this, it could have been 2-1 Clippers if it weren't for a miracle alley-oop. So, who's to say the Suns are definitely getting out of the series? Who's to say? I don't know. Alright, so the Celtics hired Emi Udoka. So I heard that he coached Brown, Tatum, and Marcus Smart at Team USA. And, you have to get along with the three best guys. On the team. If you're not getting along with the three best guys on the team, there's going to be a problem there. There's going to be kind of a rift. So, if he's coaching those guys, I think that's great. And, Marcus Smart, he's impactful. He made all defensive team last year. Don't forget that. So, I wouldn't, I think this is I think this is a good move by the Celtics. A lot happened after the series started, so after they got bounced from the playoffs, a lot happens, Ainge stepped down, Stevens had to take another spot, a lot happens, but, I think this is a good hire, he gets along with the guys, and I think he'll do a good job there. Alright, so, the Pacers hired Rick Carlisle. Now, Carlisle is a good coach, it's just, eventually, it just wears out, he's 61 years old, and the Mavs are getting younger. It's nothing he can do about it, the Mavs are just getting younger, with Luka and all that, and he's 61 years old. You can't coach it's hard to have an old coach a young team. You know, like the Rams are a young team, so they had to. Or no, sorry, the Chargers are a young team, so they had to go to a younger coach, Brandon Staley. Staley, you know. So I mean. You know, I think he'll do a good job with the Pacers, and, you know, obviously that team I don't think is a championship team, like a championship team talent-wise, but I like Rick Carlisle as a coach. I think he's a good coach to hire. I think that's a good hire by the Pacers. Alright. So Baker Mayfield, I've had kind of an on and off, take with him. So, I don't want this to be... So, Colin Cowherd kind of said this, and people are like, oh, always hating on Baker. I don't think this is necessarily hating on Baker, really. So, his agent thinks that his contract will get done this summer. So, think about this. Mariota had a good second year, and they didn't rush to pay... Like, in Mariota's second year, you want to hear what his stats were? Marcus Mariota? In his second year, here were his stats. Like, he had a good year. Hold on. All right, his stats in the second year. So he went 8-7, 3,400 yards, 26 touchdowns, 9 picks, with a 95 quarterback rating. Sound like anyone you know? Oh yeah, that's awfully close to Baker Mayfield. And this year, here's Baker Mayfield's stats for this year. So Baker Mayfield had, this year, 26 touchdowns, 8 picks, 96 quarterback rating, 3,500 yards. That's awfully close to Mariota's second year. And they didn't rush to pay Mariota because they knew when you rush, it doesn't work out. Rams rushed to pay Jared Goff. And how'd that work out? You don't rush to pay them. And guess what? Guess what's going to happen after you pay Baker Mayfield? Some of these guys you have are going to have to leave. You can't have... that's the glory of having a rookie contract. Once you pay Mayfield, you're not going to be able to have two of the best running backs in the sport. Two good receivers, an offensive line that good, and you're not going to be able to have a defense that good. It's not going to be as good without Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield had very similar stats to Mariota in his second year. So, I wouldn't rush to pay them. I mean, Tennessee waited on Mariota, and look what happened. Mariota is now clearly not even close to what Ryan Tannehill is as a quarterback. Alright, so the Warriors owner is not concerned with, the rumors that Steph might leave. And, I wouldn't be concerned if I were him either. The problem here with Curry is it's hard to get people around him because he's one of the highest paid players. And, I was just talking about this. When you get paid a lot, I don't begrudge anyone who wants to be paid a lot of money. Why wouldn't you? But, when you get paid a lot, you have to be ready to not win a lot, That's somewhere where I do side with the Packers. Like I said, I'm not really on the Packers side or Aaron Rodgers side, because there are situations where they're both wrong, I'm on the Packers side with the whole thing where Aaron's asking, and, I'm on Aaron's side where he says, I want more respect, but, what Aaron has to understand is it's hard to have a good defense when you're one of the highest paid.